Am I the a-hole for saying my parents need some help to accept my half-sister choosing her mom over us? My parents met when my half-sister was 2. At that point, my dad already had primary custody of her. Her mom wasn't in the picture. She was in prison for something. To this day, I don't even know the exact details because nobody talks about it directly. When she got out, my half-sister was 3. She was allowed visitation at first and later got some custody, but she was flaky and inconsistent. Sometimes she would show up, sometimes she wouldn't, sometimes she'd disappear for weeks or months. My parents got married a few years later, and then came me, 17M, my sister, 15F, and my brother, 13M. Growing up, I noticed a pattern with my half-sister. She always wanted her mom. Always. She'd choose her mom over us any chance she got, no matter how many times her mom disappointed her. If her mom was around, even for 5 minutes, she was willing to drop every single one of us. There were so many times she'd cancel plans with my dad, or with us, because her mom suddenly wanted to do something. Sometimes she'd agree to go to an event with us, but if her mom said yes to the same event, she'd tell my dad to stay home and insist only her real mom could come. It stung a lot. I'll never forget one of the worst moments. On my birthday, when I was around 9, she literally ran out of my birthday dinner because her mom texted her to meet up. My dad tried to chase her down the street, but she refused to stop. He asked her if she realized she had just ditched her brother's birthday, and she shouted back, "He's not my real brother anyway." That one cut deep, and I don't think I'll ever fully forget it. My parents tried everything. They put her in therapy. They had endless talks with her about respecting plans, being mindful of other people's feelings, not treating relationships like they were disposable. But honestly, it never made a difference. She always chose her mom. When she turned 18, she moved in with her mom. They bounced around for a year, different apartments, unstable living situations, before my half-sister got her own place. And almost immediately, she moved her mom in. From that point forward, it was clear where her loyalty was. She really stopped showing up to anything with us. Phone calls got shorter. Visits became almost non-existent. At 21, she got married. None of us were invited. My parents were devastated. My little sister was crushed. Her only sister got married, and she didn't even get to be there. Her mom was, of course, front and center. After the wedding, there was a tiny bump in contact. She answered calls occasionally. She visited once, briefly, but didn't bring her husband. And then the next bombshell dropped. She had a baby. None of us knew she was pregnant. None of us even got a chance to see the baby after it was born. My dad reached out and tried to set something up, but she always had excuses. Then she flat out said she was giving her mom most of the time with the baby because her mom deserved it. That's when my parents started spiraling. They became obsessed with her social media. Every time she posted about her mom and the baby, photos, captions about how much she adored her mom, how grateful she was to have her in her life, they got more and more upset. They would sit around the kitchen table scrolling through her posts, crying, asking each other how she could do this to them when they'd been the stable ones, the ones who were actually there. The weirdest part? One day, she randomly showed up at my dad's work with the baby. She let him meet his grandchild, but when he asked if my mom or any of us could come by too, she flat out said no. Just like that, no. My dad was torn between happiness that he at least got to meet the baby and heartbreak that his wife and other kids were excluded. Meanwhile, I wasn't really bothered. At that point, I had stopped expecting anything from her. My little sister was, though. She still feels betrayed. But my parents? They've been devastated. They cannot accept that my half-sister has chosen her mom, an inconsistent, flaky woman with a criminal record, over them. They talk about it all the time. They obsess over every new post. They cry. They fight about it. It's like they can't move forward. The other weekend, my siblings weren't home, and my parents were having yet another conversation about it in front of me. I finally said what I'd been thinking for a long time. I think you guys need some help to accept things. I told them they're so distracted by her choices that they're not being fully present for the 3 of us who are still here, who do want their attention. They were shocked. They didn't yell or anything. They just looked at me and said they'd think about it. But apparently, they told my grandma about the conversation, and she confronted me. She said I was trying to shame my parents. When I denied that, my parents backed me up. They said they didn't feel shamed, just surprised. But my grandma wouldn't let it go. She told me I wouldn't understand because I'm not a parent. She said my parents don't need help. They're just allowed to be hurt because one of their children has chosen someone unworthy over them and is raising their grandchildren to do the same. Then she dropped another bomb. Apparently, my half-sister is pregnant again. Who knows if we'll ever meet this new baby? That led to a huge fight. My dad ended up kicking my grandma out for what she said, and later, both of my parents apologized to me for the way it spiraled. But now I'm second-guessing myself. Was I too harsh? Should I not have told them they need help to accept things? Or was I right to say it even if it stung? So, am I the a-hole for telling my parents they need help to accept my half-sister choosing her mom over us?